Hello friends, this is Raj Sastry from Raj Option Trading. Today is February 18, 2023. Hope you're all doing well. In today's segment, we'll take a look at stocks with very high short ratio and see how to benefit from it. So with that, let's jump in and start with a quick market update. Look, from a market update perspective, we got S&P 500 going probably sideways. As you can see here, it had a nice run. Now it's thinking where to go. We got some big inflationary numbers coming up. Basically, there is high inflation. That's why folks are worried Fed will raise the interest rate maybe a little more aggressively. And look, we got Bitcoin here. Bitcoin is going higher, gangbusters, as you can see here. At this time, I'll be a little bit careful about Bitcoin here and probably be very selective. And then you got Nasdaq here. Look, Nasdaq had a great run. Now it's sideways here with the inflation going higher. Folks are worried that Fed will raise the rates aggressively. And then you got Russell 2000 here, small cap stocks. Look, that's going higher nicely here. Typically, Russell 2000 is a leading indicator that tells you market rally has got more strength here. And look, bonds are coming down nicely. Very good support level here. If you're a bond trader, you could buy some bonds. It's a good time to buy bonds now, especially sticking higher. Nice support level here. And then got VIX here, which is a volatility index. Look, from a volatility perspective, volatility is slightly picking up, as you can see here off late. Look, nice bump here. Now it's coming back here. So this tells you it's pretty much trading range type market here. Don't expect huge up or down move here. It's a great market to really trade with the sideways strategies, like selling put options as an example. And then you got crude oil here. Look, crude oil came down, as you can see here. At these levels, I'll be selectively buying some energy names here like ExxonMobil, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, Devon, and so on and so forth. And look, gold is down. When the stock market goes higher, like risk is on, folks are buying risky stocks. That's when gold comes down here. That's what's going on here. Or be slowly buying some gold at these levels and go from there. And look, from a dollar perspective, dollar is picking up slightly here. This is one of the reasons stock market is coming down. So we got to be slightly careful. I think dollar is going to trade sideways here. That's why there is no clear direction for the market going up or down. That's why market is trading sideways, as you can see here. All right, now let's jump in here and look at a few more things here. Look, I love to look at the fear greed index from CNN.com here. Look, we got CNN.com fear greed index. From a fear greed index perspective, we are right now in the greed zone. Look, we are at 69 here, and last week we were at 69, and a month ago we were at 64. Typically, when you're in the greed index, folks like to buy the risky assets. Think about Nasdaq stocks, the Bitcoins, and the software stocks and SaaS stocks and so on and so forth here. That's why right now folks are buying. But with the Feds raising the rates potentially because of high inflation, folks are a little bit careful. That's why the market is pulling back. All right, now let's go into my favorite platform when it comes to high short ratio stocks. Look, I got a this is FinViz platform, as many of you know here. I got elite membership, so it's around $290 or so per year. Very low price. If you like looking at the insider buy, insider sell, short ratio, it's a great platform. If you have FinViz Elite, you could download the entire data and you could create your own filters and your own screen layout. So with that, look, I got a screen layout here or a filter called short interest. I love to look at the high short interest stocks on a regular basis. Look, My criteria is very simple here. I want to look at price more than $1. I don't want to trade penny stocks because it's not worth your while unless you are very focused and you look at the screen like a hawk. And look, I want to look at the short float here more than 10%, and I look at the current volume more than 1 million shares. If you are looking at the current volume, make sure after the market you can look at current volume more than 1 million. But if you are looking at the short ratio stocks, during the market time frame, instead of the current volume, you can go and select average volume, and you can say average volume more than 1 million shares traded, or even 500,000 also will do it. All right. So with that, look, if you have an elite membership, you could go in here and you could click on filters and look at the filters also. I will show you in a minute here. So as you can see here, so look, we got filters. You could turn it on and off. But if you have elite membership, you could also look at few more things here and go from there. Look, we got screener, filters, and look, you could click on the custom here. Let's do one thing. Let's go back to our high short interest name here. If you have elite membership, you could click on the custom here, look like this, and you could select what columns you want to see. Look, I've selected a few columns I want to see here. I want to see ticker, price to sales ratio, shares float, insider transactions, very important, institutional transactions, and so on and so forth. That's the benefit of elite membership. You could basically pick and choose what you want to see in your own custom layout, as you can see here. All right, so with that, let's jump in here and turn this filter, take the filter away here. Look, I'm clicking on custom view here, and if you don't have Finviz Elite, don't worry. You could go into ownership tab here. In the ownership tab, look, it gives you short float right here. This is what you need, and you will also need to look at insider transactions and institutional transactions, basically this column right here and this column right here. That will give you a very good idea. And if you have an elite membership, you could go into the custom tab here, just like I'm doing here, and look at the great stocks, in the layout that you want to see. Look, we got nice layout here. Top of the list is Silvergate. It's a crypto bank, as many of you know here. 600 million market cap. And look, very high short float here, 78%, and stock has gone up nicely. Look at the weekly performance here, 20%, monthly performance 48%, and still year to date it's barely positive, as you can see here. RSI right now is 52, relative strength index, so that tells you this has little more room to run, but I recommend you to buy it on a down day here. Look, it had a nice run. Even on Friday it had a nice 4.09% run, but you could buy it on a down day and go from there. And you got other names like Carvana, BBBY, and so on and so forth here. As usual, always watch out both short float here, which tells you how much is the short float. You should also watch out RSI. When the RSI is high, for example, we got some names like, look, we got one right here, VTNR. Be very slightly careful here. When the RSI is super high, above 65, don't buy at the time. You don't want to get burnt by chasing these names when they're going higher. But when the RSI is low, below 50, and when the fundamentals are good, you could buy. And also pay attention to insider transactions and institutional transactions. Sometimes these could be a little bit dated, so you got to be slightly careful not to follow these, but always examine slightly by clicking on the stock and understanding what the date of those transactions. For example, here we got BBBY. Look, both insiders are selling, institutions are selling. Not a pretty picture here. If you're a daredevil, you could buy. but otherwise you should shy away, because you got to see some, you don't want to catch a falling knife here. Look for some semblance of stock going higher, and then you could buy. All right, now I will take you to my Excel spreadsheet here. I compile the data from various sources, as many of you know here. I look at the data from FinViz and look at the data from Stock Rover, one of my best platform when it comes to fundamental analysis. I look at TradingView and I look at barchart.com when it comes to options data. Look, what I've done is I've sorted this by very high short ratio here. Top of the list, as you can see here, Silvergate, like we saw earlier. Silvergate is a crypto stock, as many of you know here. And look, a nice IV rank, as you can see. And what we'll do is here is just to make sure we see columns properly, I will hide few columns here. But look, I also have some fundamental data here. Look at the target price. Current price is $16, but the target price is 16. It's above its target. 9 analysts are following it. Both analyst recommendation as well as technical recommendation is a buy at this time. Stock is cruising higher, as you can see. And you got such data here, but it's difficult to see all the columns. So I will hide some of these columns here. I can just say hide few columns here by clicking on hide. All right, so we hid some columns, as you can see here. Now, as you can see here, I can see the short ratio. Look, we got short ratio right here, and also you can see the short float. I love when the short float is low. Below 100 million is great. Look, right now Silvergate, its short float is 26 million shares short. That's a good one here. It's a low floater. And look, right now from a open interest from a stock option perspective, it's above 500. That tells you a lot of options are being traded. And also look, we got nice 14 million shares traded from a stock volume perspective. Very active stock, as you can see here. Very high IV rank. And as you can scan through here, option volume is higher, but look, the put call short interest ratio, that tells you traders are still hanging on to the put options here. That's why whenever you see put call open interest ratio more than 1, that tells you folks are basically buying some put options and hedging. If the stock goes down, they can make some money here. Same thing going on here. Put call volume ratio is basically on a daily basis. Last Friday we had more put options traded than call options traded. That's why it's high. Typically, when the short float is high, look at 79%, and put call volume ratio as well as put call open interest ratio is more than 1. That's a double whammy. So basically, stock will try to burn both put option buyers as well as short sellers and tries to go higher. As you can see here, we got stock going up nicely here. Look, 1 day 4%, 5 day 20%. So stock has gone up nicely here, and even up here, as you can scan through here from an RSI perspective or a relative strength index perspective, stocks like to go higher. Look at the RSI 14-day or relative strength index. In 14-day it's 52, but in 7-day it's 53. So that's why even though stock is going higher, RSI is still below 55. This can have some leg. It can still go higher, but I love to buy a Silvergate when the stock is slightly cooled off here. Right now it's a little bit high for me. I love to buy when the RSI is below 50 and the stock is showing some progress here. That's why it's a little bit high for me. That's why I'm not initiating new positions. I'm just taking profit on my existing position here. And then you got a few more here. As usual, keep a watch on what insiders are doing, what institutions are doing, and go from there. Look, we don't like to chase the stocks. We should not chase the stocks when they're going higher. That's why I love to look at the RSI. Let's look at stock with the RSI less than 55. Keep watching this column here. We got RSI 14 days. I love to buy when the RSI 14 day is less than 50 because we don't want to chase the stocks and get burnt. I got a filter right here called low RSI. I could click on this low RSI filter here and look right now. I will look at only the stocks with the RSI less than 50. Look, we got RSI right here, and the RSI for these stocks, as you can see here, less than 40. Let's look at those names here. Look, all less than 40. Top of the list, as you can see here, is the BBBY, Bed Bath and Beyond. Look, right now it's analysts are saying sell, and from a technical rating perspective, it's a sell. From a technical rating, it's a buy, but analysts are saying sell. So there's a divergence between what analysts are saying, what technical rating is saying. So at this time, if you're a daredevil, you could buy some Bed Bath and Beyond here. Looks like they're not going to go bankrupt. That's what market is predicting because they're closing some stores and basically getting some much needed cash for them to be afloat. From an RSI perspective, look, it's RSI 14 days 42, RSI 7 days 36. Stock is getting weaker. And as you scan through here, we can go further down here. Look, stock is down big time. Look at the stock, what's doing here. 5 day, 10 day, 1 month, all down big time here. But on a 1 day basis on Friday, it's slightly higher. That tells you stocks wants to go higher. So if you're a daredevil and a speculator, you could buy some BBBY here. But if you're a little more fundamental type guy here, don't buy because there's a looming bankruptcy, even though it looks like they might avoid the bankruptcy for now. But for the speculators, you could buy some and look at the open interest here. This stock is very active in the options market with the 2.7 million contracts held as of now, and option volume is also pretty healthy. And importantly, look at the put call volume ratio. As of last Friday, folks are buying call options, and also look, there are more call options held. So what this is telling you is really in the options market, folks are betting Bed Bath and Beyond will go higher. That's why they're buying more call options. That's why there is a high chance this can turn around at these levels here. This is where it's a little bit conflicting. Look, insiders are selling, institutions are selling, but without paying attention to that, folks are buying call options like no tomorrow. That's why there's a very good chance the stock can go higher from here, especially because of this put call ratio being below 1, and stock is showing some strength. And from an RSI perspective, as you can see here, right now stock is getting weaker, but there's a chance this can go higher because options market, folks are betting this will go higher, buying more call options, as you can see here. All right, so let's jump in here and look at a few more stocks here. And if you want to look at BBBY, I can take you to my favorite charting platform here, which is TradingView. As you can see here, we got TradingView right here. I could bring up BBBY right here. All right, so we got Bed Bath and Beyond right here, and we got a chart. Look, from a chart perspective, at this time, you got to be slightly careful here. Look at the squeeze momentum here. It's slightly coming down here. That tells you got to be slightly careful here. And from a Bollinger Band perspective, stock is hitting the lower band, Bollinger Band here. That could prove to be a support level here. And that for the folks who want to add this indicator here, I recommend adding squeeze indicator here. You could go into the indicators and look, we got right here, and you could say squeeze. We got right here squeeze, and you could let's go here to the squeeze. Yeah, there you go. So you could say squeeze here. Look, you got squeeze momentum indicator by Lazy Bear. You could basically go and add that to your chart. And look, and also I've added Bollinger Band, which is as you can just add the Bollinger Band by clicking Bollinger here. We got Bollinger Bands. Now these are the two good indicators that you could add here. So this can tell you when the stock can turn around here. As an example, when the stock is hitting the going above the higher Bollinger Band, don't buy at the time. You don't need to be a hero. But when the stock is coming below the lower Bollinger Band, or trying to use the lower Bollinger Band as a support level, that's when you should buy. All right, let's jump in here and look at a few more. Look, we got ALLO here, $7 stock, as you can see here, and this is a strong buy. Looks like 15 analysts are following. Wow, that's a lot of analysts for this tiny stock, as you can see here. And as you can scan through here, this one has got high short ratio. Let's see short ratio here. All right, so from a short ratio perspective, look, we got 42% short ratio, which is really high. Stock is trying to go higher. And from a RSI perspective, stock is getting slightly, it's kind of in the trading range here. Because RSI is below 50, you could buy this one also here. Understand it's not very super active in the options market. And we got a few more here. As usual, keep a watch on what insiders are doing here. And look, we got few names here where insiders are buying. Look, we got Fresh Works here. Both insiders are buying as well as institutions are buying. That's a good sign here. And what we could do here is I got a small filter here called Inside Buy. If I click on this here, it will kind of look at the stocks where there is some insider buy and also institutional buy is greater than 0. We could click on Inside Buy right here and look at the stocks where insiders are buying them. All right, look, right now you could see here we got insider buy and institution buy greater than 0. We got Freshworks, and all these stocks, as you can see here, have got low RSI. RSI is still below 50, as you can see here. We got RSI right here. RSI is below 50. As you can see here. And look, these are the names where there is either insider buy or institutional buy and RSI is low. You could look at such names here and you could buy them. Look, we got Fresh Work here and Fisker, same story. Look, slightly not too much insider buy, but there is some insider buy. On the other hand, we got HOTH here, which is just a $2 stock here. Look, there are analysts are saying buy, just 2 analysts following this one here. But look, right now, this is also, it's a nice insider buy. Looks like insiders are buying from an RSI perspective. Let's see here from an RSI perspective, it's slightly getting weaker. You could look at such names if you're a speculative type buyer here. And then you got a few more here. Look at FXLV here. Look at that high insider buying. You could look at such names here. And you got DH, high insider buy, DICE, same story. And GitLab is one of my favorite stock here. You could look at this one also. I love this stock. You could buy this one also. It helps the software developers big time here. And if you look at the GitLab here, look, RSI perspective, it's slightly getting weaker. Could be a good time to buy and go from there. All right, next what we'll do is we'll look at stocks with the very high open interest here. Many of you like to buy stocks with very high open interest because these stocks are very active in the options market. All right, let's go in here and I will let's start fresh here and click on high short to look at the high short names here. We'll remove other filters and go from there. All right, so we got high short names here, short ratio greater than 10%, as you can see here, 368 stocks. And what we'll now do is we'll look at stocks with a very high open interest. So for that I can click on my open interest right here on this button here. So the moment I click on this open interest button here, this will basically get the stocks with the open interest more than 500,000 shares. Look, more than 500,000 options contract held by traders. Look, all these stocks right now, we got just 26 stocks here with nice and high open interest and also nice and high short ratio. These are my favorites here. I would be looking at these names here, and you could also look at the RSI level here. If the RSI is too high, then don't buy at that time here. But otherwise, look, we got great names here. And you could look at Silvergate, as you can see here. We already looked at this one. Nice open interest. But look at the ones with the $1 million plus open interest here. Look at these two right here. We got BBBY here. Nice 2 million open interest from a contract perspective. And Marathon Digital, again, crypto stocks, one of my favorite here. And look, it's also going higher nicely. And right now, look, from an RSI perspective, it's 56. With the crypto going higher, bumping against the resistance level, I would wait for Marathon Digital to cool off slightly here. But look, in the options market, folks are betting it will go higher. Look at the put call volume ratio and put call open interest ratio. This tells you folks are buying call options like no tomorrow. That's why this can still go higher, but I love to buy on a down day here, especially because of the RSI here. Look at RSI here. RSI in 14 days 56. It's jumping even higher. There's a very high chance it will go further high, but I like to wait for this to cool off here and take some profit up here. All right, so we got few more, as you can see here. We got Upstart. Upstart got killed, as many of you know here. Stock took a good beating here. And look, option open interest is pretty healthy here. But look, put call ratio perspective, a lot of people buying put options, thinking, hedging their positions here. But RSI perspective, stock is slightly getting weaker. Look, RSI 14 days 50, RSI 7 days 48, as you can see here. So that's why you got to be slightly careful on this, but at this time it could be okay to speculate and buy some here, even though it's a fintech. All the fintechs names are out of Wall Street fashion show right now, but if you're a speculator, you could buy some and go from there. And you got a few more here. Keep a watch on open interest here. Look at Nikola here. Nikola is a EV stock, as many of you know here. Look at that option open interest, very high option open interest. But look what's going on here from a put call ratio perspective. On Friday, folks are buying put option like no tomorrow. Very high put option traded here. So that's why it tells you folks are really hedging themselves very nicely and very high short ratio here. Typically when this happens here, stocks like to go higher and crush those short sellers here and also crush those put option buyer here. So at this time you could buy some here as a speculator, mainly because look at the RSI here. RSI 14 days 49, RSI 7 days 46. It's below 50 here. Because of this high put call volume ratio here and very high short ratio, you could buy some Nikola here and speculate. And we got few more, as you can see here. Keep a watch on the ones with nice and high option open interest here. Look, AMC here, and AMC also very high option open interest here. Looks like folks are buying call options on Friday here. That's why put call volume ratio is below 1. And look, from a RSI perspective, it's a dead heat at 49 for a 14-day RSI as well as 7-day RSI, both 49. So this is also okay at these levels here. But look, insiders are selling, as you can see here, big time. But it's okay for speculator to jump in nicely, jump in and buy some, mainly because of the put call volume ratio here, telling you more call options are being bought on Friday. And then you got GameStop here. Look, GameStop is again another very high option interest here. Look, it's not super high, it's 749, but look at the option piece put call volume ratio here that suggests folks are buying call options, more call options than put options. That's a great story. You could buy some GameStop also. One thing, I would not buy GameStop at this time, mainly because look at the RSI here. RSI is slightly higher. You could buy this on a down day here, not when the RSI is going higher like this here. And then you got Coinbase here. Look, Coinbase is a crypto stock, as many of you know here. And look, very nice option open interest here. Look, on Friday here, more call options being bought. And I would wait for this one, mainly because crypto stocks went higher. Look at the put call, look at the RSI here. It tells you stock is getting a little bit cooling off here. It came down from 56 in a 14-day RSI to 7-day RSI of 54. Tells you stock is taking some breather here. I would wait for it to take some more breather and then jump in when the RSI is below 50 or so. And we've got a few more here, same story. Look, all these crypto names are cruising higher. I would wait on them here and look at the low ones. So what we could do now is we could look at high option open interest and low RSI. Those are the good ones you could buy at these levels here. If you're active in the options market, look, this is a very small list here. These are the stocks with the very nice open interest from an options perspective and RSI perspective. RSI is below 50. Those are the good names you could focus on here. And as usual, look at the put call volume ratio. When the folks are buying super active, buying put options here, these are the ones that can go higher nicely here. Like Nikola, look at the put call open interest, put call ratio here, 5.44. Folks are buying put options like no tomorrow. And look at the Dish Network here. Folks are buying put options. Look at the put call volume ratio here. This look, it's a very high put call open interest ratio that tells you right now more folks are holding are having open positions in put option, and also put call volume ratio is high. So this one can go higher. Look, insiders are buying big time. This could be a good one. You could speculate on this one here. Mainly insiders are buying. Folks are having a high short ratio, and from a put call volume ratio perspective, folks are hedging and buying a lot of put options. If the stock goes higher, it can crush those put options buyers as well as short sellers and go higher. All right, so with that, we will end here. Or let's do one thing. Let's go into the charts here. Look at few names here. So we looked at BBBY here. We could look at a few more here. Look at AMC, and let's see what's going on in AMC here. All right, let's go here. Look at AMC. Look for AMC. Look, stock is trying to go higher here. It came into the lower Bollinger Band here. From there, it's trying to go higher. Look, earnings is coming up in 10 days. That's a nice, subtle notation from a TradingView perspective. It tells you earnings is 10 days. So you got to be slightly careful. If the earnings is good, it will kind of crush those short sellers and still go higher. From a lazy bear indicator perspective, it's telling you right now it's slightly, getting weaker. So you could slightly buy on a down day here and go from there. And let's look at a few more here. Let's look at Silvergate here, SI. All right, Silvergate is again, it's a crypto bank, as many of you know here. At this time, look, earnings is coming up in 59 days. Its earning is already over. And look, stock is not doing much from a lazy bear indicator perspective. It's coming up with a nice consolidation pattern here. So you could buy some slowly here. This can go up as crypto goes higher. I would buy this on a down day and go from there. Let's look at Marathon Digital here. Marathon Digital is another crypto name here, MARA. All right, so Marathon Digital, look, stock is making a nice consolidation pattern. As you can see here, it went higher along the crypto here, and right now there's a chance this can also go higher. I would buy this one also on a down day, mainly because RSI is slightly high for me. All right, so let's look at AMC and GameStop and go from there. All right, so let's look at AMC. AMC, look, it's trying to bounce off of its lower Bollinger Band here, and look, from a lazy bear indicator perspective, it's slightly getting weaker, and I would also buy this one on a down day here, and and accumulate. As we talked about, it's a 10-day earnings is coming up in 10 days here. And then we could look at GameStop here. Let's look at GME. All right, so GameStop, as you can see here, look, it's bouncing off very nicely from the lower Bollinger Band here, and from a lazy bear indicator perspective, it's trying to consolidate and trying to wrap around and go higher here, and earning is coming up in 32 days here. This one also, because it went up nicely here, I would wait for this to come back here before I can buy some more. So with that, thank you very much. Please subscribe. Happy investing and trading. Have a good one.